Hi darlings, welcome to a reading. We're gonna tune in. I've just prayed, pre-shuffled, so I'm set up. I got a Five of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit, underlying energy, Page of Wands. I'm instantly getting there seems to be an old friend group or like old friends or old acquaintances that are feeling, for one, left out with the Five of Pentacles, but also they feel like left out cold while watching you celebrate your life. So there's sort of like this is an energy of someone or multiple people that are comparing themselves to you, and compared to you they feel like they are lacking, slacking, losing. They just don't, it's like they feel inferior. I don't know why I need to know this. I don't think we need to linger on this that much. I am hearing though, for some of you, it's part of like the karmic wheel. So it's part of like karmic justice, even having to watch you succeed or having to watch you win, having to watch you do well while they're on the sidelines. It's like they don't have access to you, or not the way that they're used to, and they're sort of being left to their own devices. And it seems like without you in their life, some of them are really feeling either the loss, or they're feeling, yeah, just like I said, how they are lacking. So it seems as like a general, it seems people that attach themselves to other people, and when said people leave or said people cut ties, they feel like they don't have anything going for themselves. So like a term for this is cloud chasers. um, there's sort of like profiters and opportunists as well. So it looks like you did well to cut ties. Also, I'm hearing that the reason why you're celebrating, and now the reason why you are in a better space than you were, is due to this reason as well, because you left certain people behind that were either draining, were using you, were just around you for the wrong reasons. So I guess that's either confirmation or just something that, yeah, you needed to know. Otherwise, I couldn't read it, or it wouldn't come up the way it does. We have the Page of Wands as the underlying energy. So there is a multitude of people that are trying to reach out to you though. And here I constantly get a feeling from the past, not so much present, future. It just feels like really people, places that you've left behind. Like you don't seem to be losing much for over them, whereas they are. So yeah, I'm seeing though it's difficult to reach you. So I don't know if you changed your number, if you're like on private, if there's just, it just seems hard to reach you. Like you're not someone easy reachable, and that is like contributing. When I tune into their energy, it's contributing to this like, wow, he or she's really gone. Like we're actually cut off. I even heard like cut off from my life force, cut off from the juice. So this is a parasitic energy. Like whenever someone needs another person to feel a type of way, feel better about themselves, feel like they have momentum, then it's parasitic, because they're not generating it for themselves, they're attaching themselves to someone else. This is also often seen in like creative spaces where they're maybe very creative, very talented designers, makeup artists, whoever it is, and then you have someone who attaches themselves to that talent and profits off of them. A lot of the world functions like that. I guess like you specifically, like I can read it as an energy that we see in the world as in the macrocosm, but I can also read it in like microcosm in your individual, in your individual realm, in your individual world. And here specifically, I just see how this has contributed to your success, and like the fact that you cut them off has contributed to your success. It's like that energy returned to you that was being drained. It returned to you in a way where you can now make use of it without having to, yeah, feed other entities that have attached themselves to you. So this is good. This is very good. I heard now specifically when it comes to like the creative spaces, is not all like this. You will also find spaces where it's more based on collaboration, less of like siphoning, less of like, you know, enticement or using like this sort of, it's just reminding me of like vampires as well. This, I mean, we've been talking about these mythologies since the beginning of the days, you know, like it's nothing new. It's just in the, whether you want to look at it from an energetic point of view, whether you would see it as something spiritual in the spiritual realm, if you see it and sense it and can acknowledge it in your day-to-day life, it often helps because yeah, you're always gonna encounter people where it may take some time to vet them or find out what are their genuine intentions. And like I said, most part of the world works like this. But I do feel like it keeps coming up that there are spaces where it's more collaborative in nature and less like the siphoning using. So that seems to be what you're aligning with here as well, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. I am seeing doors opening up for you, new opportunities coming in, people, institutions, brand deals even like being offered to you, and it will as well contribute to your success, to your wealth, to an empire that you're building. Like this is a very, very fruitful energy. And also I just keep getting it's really tied to you having cut ties with certain people. Like the fact that it keeps coming up seems to, for those of you that have not yet or are at the edge of cutting ties with certain people, this is just illuminating how that can really open up split space for certain blessing of yours to come in. This is also in the Bible, I believe, is there's like excerpts of this where they say that God, the Most High, can only deliver certain blessings to you when it's known that you're not sitting at the table with the wrong people. And or even from your point of view, sometimes when you're aware that you have people in your vicinity or you're still tied to people that generally are not there for the right reasons, are not in your life for the right reasons, it can cause sort of hypervigilance where you're not even allowing yourself to receive certain things, knowing that it's going to get siphoned or taken away in one shape or form, or you can feel that way. So this is a big shift. This is also really like commendable, I'm hearing, because cutting ties with certain people, especially energy vampires and those that do siphon clout chasers, is not always easy because they tend to have a big network. You know, like they tend to know people or be associated with other clout chasers or other people that move the way they do. So whenever you're someone who has their own juice, whether you're a creator, whether you're, you know, it's like a battery. You're your own life force, and this is where you're now thriving. Like this is the era, this is the space you're stepping into, the space that I can pick up on where you're thriving due to either acknowledging that within you and or also acknowledging who is built similar to you and where it's better to collaborate with people that are built like you are, other than those that like function from a place of lack. So it's like a shift in frequency, even I can read it as like shifting frequencies, because often as well we choose to tie ourselves to people that are not good to us. You know, it's not just, you can't just like point fingers and call, like we can't just call them names, I guess, or yeah, like energy rhyme siphons. It's easy in that sense when you sort of like shift the focus on you and what you may have done. Often you will find that on some levels you consented to the relationship. So it's easy to shift that around. Like, well, it is and it's not. It does take deliberate choice. Here as well is when we talk about it is in energetic terms. You often, facilitators like me, we can see or sense the entanglements. It's like cords, or it can be like tentacles. It can be very sticky energy to work with and or to remove, and not like, it's not uncommon that you need multiple rounds. So yeah, the way I was reading it here, it was for someone or is for the collective, those of you that have already done the work, as in you have cut the ties, you've walked away, you've closed the doors, you're not reachable, you're leaving them to their own devices, you're moving on with your life. Those of you that feel like you're still in an entanglement or still in entanglements and you need assistance with it, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and or just directly book in. I'm happy to assist and facilitate the that process with you. So it can help. You may also feel lighter. It also helps to move on, especially if the sticky cord, sticky ties. So that's always an option, just so you know. Moving on, I have the Knight of Swords with the Ace of Wands. So yeah, it just looks like those of you that really have cut ties and really like released yourself out of the claws from some people, environments, whatever you want to call it. There's now like you're picking up on momentum, things are starting to speed up. And also, I'm hearing specifically for some of you that lost opportunities are coming back around. So, again, from an energetic point of view, it seems like having been attached to the wrong people, having been associated with the wrong people, actually is like certain opportunities didn't come in due to that reason. Maybe they sabotaged it, maybe they blocked it, maybe it was other reasons, but it just looks like it was tied to people. The fact that it didn't come in was tied to people that you've now officially like is entangled yourself from. Also on an energetic level, like that's where I'm saying like there's a distinction there, because even if, let's say, you break up with someone or you cut ties with someone, you have to talk, you say, I don't want to be part of this, I don't want to be da 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 da. Often the energy on an energetic level, it can still take longer to really cut yourself loose from ties, especially like I said, if it's a very sticky energy, meaning they don't want to let go of you, they don't want to respect your boundaries, they don't want to release you because you give them juice. Like they need your talent, they need your creativity, they need your energy, they need your life force. That's the people to steer away from. Also, those of you that have clairs, like your clairs are on, you can see people's true nature. Like you may see their spirit, you may see the actual true form. We're more likely to see it now with celebrities because the veil is like becoming thinner and thinner. So don't be surprised if you're like very psychic that you start seeing, even if it's just glimpses, you see a person or you see people like sort of shapeshift into the true form. So don't ignore that, because that is also very helpful to navigate the world and navigate the spaces that apparently, like I said, now what you can expect is more people that are structured the way you are, that are vibrant, that are very creative, also very attractive. Here I'm getting like sort of, it's like the inner nature is showing on the outside. And you will see the distinction, because some work with glamour magic, so they look very beautiful, they look very attractive on the outside, but actually the spirit is like sort of looks like baby Voldemort, you know, when he's like needing power from other sources. So yeah, I am picking up on some of you are going, like, a reason you're learning this skill set in itself, or why you're being reminded that this is a skill set, is because you're going to be navigating a lot of this in future. Like everything you've learned so far with siphoners, with energy vampires, with ghouls, with how whatever the true nature is, the spaces you're moving into, there is a lot of glamour there. I'm seeing a lot of glitz and glam. Like it's helping you and will help you navigate those spaces, so that also you can discern as to who you can collaborate with, where it's a fruitful, is equal, there's equal payout for both parties, and where it's just a siphoning, like apparently you've already lived. So moving on from this, I'm seeing the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. What seems to be as well a reminder, or something that you will always carry with you, is that apparently you need space to recharge. You seem to be someone who, you have periods where you pop out, you have periods where you may be really in like the mood to collaborate, to mingle, to socialize, to network, to be around new people, talk business, whatever. Like it's tied to these opportunities that are coming in, brand deals. At the same time, it looks like you always have that need to take a step back, go on a holiday, or go somewhere like secluded for a month or two, just to recharge and be in your own energy. That is your way. Like this is as well the distinction of certain people who recharge only when they're around other people, or who need other people to recharge. You are like, you do it alone. That is your way to recharge, is by immersing yourself in your own energy. And I just heard for some reason that contributes to your success, especially if you can take heed of that you don't ignore your impulses or needs when it comes to, I really need some time for myself now. Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is very interesting because let's say, like we talked about, like picked up on, being associated, having been associated to certain people on a level, energetic, spiritual, mental, physical, was blocking you. Now it's like the tables are turning, and them being blocked off from your life is, you kind of just like send people back to deal with, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, I don't know how to explain this because it's coming through in a very, this happens on an invisible level. But it seems like, like if you would go to these people and be like, well, I was your freaking battery, like you were plugged into me. Without me, you're just like, you're not generating the same amount. Like there's a sense of you them being blocked off of your energy, your life force is bouncing. They're being bounced back to the true trajectory, if you know what I mean. Like if someone piggybacks on another person's success or another person's life force, they may seemingly be in the same space as you are. So this could be like, I'm getting a specific example of, like, let's say you're a performer, you're an artist, you're at festivals and you're taking a person, whether it's a friend or someone you consider a friend, an associate, backstage with you. They're like immersed in the same environment as you are, but they are immersed in there because you took them there with you. So that's a big distinction. The It becomes problematic when the person you're taking with you doesn't recognize that. When they put it in the head that, like, well, they're there for, like when there's a chord missing of like, oh, I'm here because I'm the friend or I'm the associate of this person. So it kind of, what I'm picking up is it becomes problematic when that relationship, when it's distraught. And it may not be that you need like a cookie or someone to constantly be like, grateful that I'm taking you in the spaces that I worked for. Like, it's me that put myself out there in a way to be brought into these spaces. I'm taking you with me because you're associated with me. So this is where, whenever the person that you're taking with cannot recognize that, that's when it becomes problematic. So there's different reasons. Like, what I want to say is there's different reasons why we may still hang around so those type of people. It can be guilt, it can be you feel like you owe them something, or maybe that you feel sorry or you pity them, whatever. The distinction this reading was really like what is standing out is the quality of life you have when you connect and link up with people that just have their own engine running. And whoever this is for, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. Because you've already been through the cycles of detangling yourself, cutting ties. For some it can even be like contractual. And then what came out of that, like from having made those decisions, and then the moment, like the way you took off. So yeah, this is just a way of navigating life with your spiritual gifts, spiritual powers, like peak online. Um, and yeah, also having lived the effects of what it means to being tied to the wrong people, because we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So some of you, if you look back or you check pictures and you just see, you may see, okay, you're drained, you look stressed, people bringing drama into your life that has nothing to do with you. Like the main energy or the main reading, what I see is that there's just a massive shift occurring in the quality of your life due to consciously choosing to mix and mingle with certain people, and due to choosing not to mix and mingle with certain people. And you may consider this shallow, or some may consider this shallow, like depending who tunes in may not fully understand this because you've not lived it. So yeah, cloud chasers just seems to be a big topic here. And at the end I have Queen of Pentacles and Three of Wands. It landed though on the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. This landed on the part of you where I was telling you, you seem someone who recharges yourself in your own energy. And what we just talked about, some of you recognize more of who's good to be around and who not after having been in your own energy. It's like there you get the most insight, you get answers, you get like you have understanding of where your energy is being drained and siphoned and where not, and then you can constantly readjust. So this is also, I guess, just either confirmation or encouragement to keep doing that, keep taking that time off, keep taking that time for yourself, because you seem to be getting a lot of information during that time. We have a Three of Wands. Yeah, this is reminding me of, which reading was it on Patreon? If you want to check that out, it was Gemini one, July 2026. This just reminding me of that because it really looks like your future is taking your future is looking really bright, and you may be noticing the shift as well, that you just your mental space is opening up exactly due to like what we already talked about. You're less involved in other people's drama because you have nothing to do with them. They can't reach you, they can't pull you into the pity parties. So I just heard loner vibes. You may be a popular loner, you may be, yeah, like this is again, this Nine of Pentacles. The Hermit can speak of you just feeling the best when you are in your own space, or you have a certain, you pick out a few people that are energy, they're like, generate their own energy for themselves. Therefore, when you hang out with them, you don't feel depleted, you don't feel drained because they're structured the way you are. This is also going a little bit in human design. It's reminding me of that human design. I don't know much about it, but it's just reminding me of that. What's it called? A generator. There's 5 core types. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just picking up on a pipeline. Maybe you know more about that and you resonate with this part of like being a generator. I'm not sure, but it's just giving me more information as to why that is so important for you, and how you do recognize. You're recognizing more and more who you can hang out with, and you feel recharged, or you feel like you're still at your baseline, whereas you can compare it, or you understand now the past, who you've been around in the past, and how they drained the living shit out of you, or how they were picking back off you, or how they were cloud chasing, how you were taking them into environments. They were profiting off of that, whereas it was blocking blessings for you and opportunities. So it's just a big contrast, and it just seems like either you're really noticing this, or it's really being brought to awareness, or it's also just like a, you know, sort of like a pat on your shoulder that you're on the right track. Like the way you are moving, the way you've been moving, also with detangling, cutting ties, cutting associates, it was the best. It was the best you could have done for you. And if you don't notice it now, you're going to see it with this influx of, like gaining momentum, opportunities coming in, acknowledgement for you being a creative, you being talented in a specific area in your life. And that's what I'm saying. It came through on Patreon. It was like the last I was definitely the Gemini on July 26th, but there was an energy coming through of like receiving your flowers, but I'm not sure if I'm still feel like it was Gemini one. So yeah, if you want an extension, go check that out. It's linked below. I will be back very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, commenting. Appreciate all of you and see you. Bye.